Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And now at 10, new details are emerging in the case of 11-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia, known as Mimi.
Farmington police have released body camera footage which shows officers visit the home of Jacqueline's mother and her boyfriend months after investigators say Mimi died. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
I'm Sarah Sanchez. We'll have much more in just a minute on this story. But first, we begin tonight with Hurricane Melissa.
Now, right now, let's take a live look at dark, wet traffic cameras in Kingston, Jamaica, one of the hardest hit areas after Hurricane Melissa made landfall earlier today as a Category 5 storm, the strongest to hit the island in recorded history. And this is video from Montego Bay, another hard-hit area. The slow-moving storm is forecast to remain a powerful hurricane as it crosses the Rocky Island, and that terrain makes elevated communities vulnerable to landslides and flooding. Now the storm is expected to head toward Cuba's second largest city.
Yeah, it's already on the way there. Let's get a check of the latest track with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. She has a look at the radar. Look at that thing.
Yeah, Hurricane Melissa is now a Category 3 hurricane, so no longer the 5 that it was earlier today when it made landfall in western Jamaica. That being said, it is undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle. You can see the eye very hard to see initially at the beginning of this loop, and now it starts to emerge. So the storm is getting its act together now that it's back over water again. So some additional strengthening is still possible before making that second landfall in Cuba overnight tonight as a major hurricane. After that, hurricane warnings extend to the southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. The storm will still be a major hurricane passing through those waters and then eventually all the way up through Bermuda as a Category 2 hurricane. So many feeling the impacts of this storm. And we're going to go over more of the history of this storm and why it will go down in the record books in a little bit. But first, I just wanted to put this on your radar, so to speak. We do have a nice soaking rain on the way for later Thursday and Thursday night. This is going to be gone for Halloween and certainly gone for trick-or-treaters. But what will replace it will be gusty winds. We'll explain. Your full forecast is coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Rachel. New here at 10, Manchester police have officially charged a man in connection to an officer-involved shooting on I-84 West in East Hartford. It happened early Saturday morning.
Samuel Lee remains hospitalized but is in the custody of the Department of Corrections. Lee faces several charges, including criminal attempt and assault. He's being held on a $1 million bond, and his next court date is set for November 12th. Lee also has 6 outstanding rearrest warrants from other jurisdictions.
A deadly fire ripped through a South End Hartford home last night. Neighbors are devastated. The fire started on Elliott Street just after 10:30 last night and quickly spread from the first floor to the roof. Firefighters called in extra crews and equipment to help get it under control. A neighbor says her friend never made it out.
It was awful. I didn't know what house was on fire until the last minute, and the minute that I know it was them, I ran to them. Her mother called her and told her to come downstairs. She said she's on her way, but she never made it out.
Hartford Fire Marshal's Office, police, and State Fire are looking into the cause of that fire.
The state police are investigating a homicide in Killingly after a man was shot late last night. Police say the shooting happened on Pratt Road. Responders rushed the victim to a local hospital, and then he was airlifted to Hartford, and that's where he later died. Officials say one person is in custody, and there is no ongoing threat to the public. State police have not released the suspect's identity or confirmed any relationship to the victim. Neighbors say this incident reflects a small uptick in crime across the region over the past few years.
2 people are hurt after a fire in Bridgeport. Fire officials say this happened just after 5 this afternoon on Main Street. They found flames on the second floor and had to rescue people through the windows. Right now, the American Red Cross is helping 8 families who lost their home.
And police are searching for the man wanted in connection to a stabbing that happened earlier this month in Waterbury. It happened the morning of October 18th on Walnut Street. Police found a 31-year-old man with stab wounds. He was taken to the hospital and was treated for his injuries. Harlem Espinoza Ramos of Waterbury is now wanted for criminal attempt at murder and assault. Waterbury police say anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact them or leave an anonymous tip.
57-year-old man has been killed in a crash in Enfield. Police say this happened on Douglas Road this morning. Police say the crash involved a Chevy Silverado in the driveway of the man's home. Michael Swart was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. He was later pronounced dead. The crash is still under investigation, and anyone with information is asked to contact Enfield Police.
And Norwalk police say a man turned himself in today on charges of hitting and killing an 84-year-old woman with a pickup truck in July. Investigators tell us Mark Owens hit Josephine Pimpinella on Connecticut Avenue on the morning of July 12th. Officials say she was crossing a driveway when she was hit. Pimpinella later died at the hospital, and Owens is charged with motor vehicle misconduct, distracted driving not by a cell phone, and failure to yield to a pedestrian. He is due in court early next month.
West Haven police have named the man who was hit and killed while riding a scooter last Tuesday. Officials say a driver hit Kevin Perez from New Haven on Derby Avenue and Forest Road. Perez was thrown from the scooter and landed in the road. The driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with the investigation.
And the government shutdown is leaving Connecticut families hungry with no SNAP benefits in sight. By midnight on November 1st, hundreds of thousands could see empty pantries and empty stomachs. The Trump administration blames Democrats for the freeze, while some Democratic attorneys general, including Connecticut's, are suing the president to restore funding. 1 in 10 families in Connecticut is preparing for hard times as food pantries brace for more demand than they can handle.
Have people in the government that are saying go to our local food pantries, but at the same time, the government has also really reduced what is available for us to be able to consume.
Now, pantries across the state have been struggling since summer after prior SNAP funding cuts. Even with Governor Lamont's emergency $3 million in funding for Connecticut Food Share, volunteers say a permanent solution is critical. Representative Johanna Hayes warns there's no scenario in which food pantries can shoulder the burden of nearly 400,000 families without those SNAP benefits.
Federal judge in California has blocked the Trump administration from laying off certain federal workers during the government shutdown. A U.S. district judge granted a preliminary injunction today at the request of federal employee unions, which pauses both new and existing layoff notices for union-represented workers. Notices sent before the shutdown are not affected, and the administration's request to halt the injunction while appealing was denied. Game 4 of the World Series is underway right now on Fox 61. And before the game, the Hartford Yard Goats rolled out the welcome mat for their most loyal fans.
Fox 61's Jalen Anderson was at Duncan Park, where the excitement for October baseball is still going strong.
The Hartford Yard Goats brought the big league energy right here to Connecticut with a special pregame party just for season ticket holders, a chance to celebrate baseball's biggest stage, Yard Goat style. Even though the crack of the bat has quieted down for the season, there was still plenty of energy at Duncan Park Tuesday night. The team hosted a special pregame celebration for their season ticket holders to give loyal fans a chance to come together before the first pitch of Game 4 of the World Series. The Yard Goats say it's all about celebrating the community that fills the seats all summer long. Plenty of ballpark favorites were sizzling on the grill. Fans say it was the perfect way to bridge the gap between minor league memories and major league excitement. Many here have followed the team all season long, and while the Yard Goats won't take the field again until spring, Tuesday was a chance to celebrate the season that was and the friendships that form in the stands every summer.
Yeah, it's always fun to reconnect with our partners and our season ticket holders, and it seems like everybody's sad when the season ends, but we know in less than a month we'll all get together and we'll talk about the year and some of the fun things that we had, some of the great players that we saw come through Duncan Park this year, both for the Yard Goats and maybe some for the opposing team as well. So it's always fun. They bring us so much joy, our fans, during the season, and it's great to kind of reconnect with them at the pregame World Series party.
Yard Goats fans are proving that the love of the game runs deep, no matter which teams are playing for the trophy. In Hartford, Jalen Anderson, Fox 61.
Thank you, Jalen. The West Haven Police Department has a warning. There has been a string of purse snatchings at gas stations and shopping centers. Officers say the suspects are targeting people when they're distracted. And as a reminder, keep your valuables close to you and never leave them in your car or shopping cart. If you see suspicious activity, contact police immediately.
Well, deer season is here, and Montville drivers are running into trouble, quite literally. Police say in just the past week, 3 cars have collided with deer. And it's only Tuesday. Police say deer are fast, unpredictable, and often appear where you least expect them, especially at dawn and dusk. Drivers should slow down in rural areas, keep to their lane, and remember, when you see one deer, there's likely another nearby. And they say to stay alert and drive smart.